family, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Talking with Tonio. So in today's episode, we're going to discuss how NFTs are going to change the fashion industry forever. Listen, you guys, NFTs are here to stay. Now, NFTs are still 100% in their infancy, but I definitely think NFTs, not only in the fashion industry, but just, around the world, just globally, how we look at digital products and digital goods are gonna be changed forever with NFTs. And I definitely think the fashion industry is gonna get hit the hardest. Now, I was watching one of Garyvee's podcasts and he actually had Mark Zuckerberg on. I'll link the full video in the description down below, but I wanna check out this clip because they really explain in a very, very good way what is to come with NFTs and specifically within the consumable goods and fashion industry.
Yeah, I mean, the analogy that I like to think about is, I like your Knicks hoodie.
Thank you,
but
sir.
imagine if you bought a jersey and you could only use it in the sports arena where you bought it, right? It's like that would be sort of lame, and it would reduce the value of buying it, right?
That's right.
Because who's going to want to buy something if they can only use it in that arena? I mean, some people would, but a fraction of the number of people who would want to buy it if they could use it in all these different places. And then if the amount of commerce is going to be less, then that's going to attract fewer creators. So I think having it be more interoperable is going to be key to making the whole thing so dynamic.
What's interesting about that, in a much more interesting human behavior way, is people will wear it. To your point, it's limited. What's also interesting is the clout, the equity, the social currency carries more weight from a tribalism behavior standpoint in Madison Square Garden, which I'm looking at right now, than it does outside, though it has tremendous value outside. What I'm incredibly interested in is the following. Obviously, I don't remember if it was Twitter. I think it was Twitter who did the blue check mark first, right? The verification. We've now lived through a decade where verified accounts, following counts, social equity through visualization. We've seen it with followers and verified accounts, right? The extremity of the NFT space is going to be even greater for what that means. It's almost like our world is all about to become the fashion industry because we communicate so much through what we wear. The digital version of that is going to have an incredible impact on society.
Oh, totally. I mean, I think if we're all spending a lot more time in the metaverse, then I think we're going to care a lot about our representation of our identity, and we're going to want different outfits. And I don't know, maybe everyone except me. I just wear the same thing. But it's
did you steal that from Steve Jobs?
Mark,
hard-hitting question. Did you steal wearing the same thing every day from Steve Jobs?
I don't think so. I just think I was maybe a little lazy, and then had some kind of some good articulation of oh yeah, this is just about saving mental energy. But I think I don't know. I was never really a.
But you know what's funny, Mark? I'll be honest with you. I actually think that's the punchline. You consciously or subconsciously made that decision to represent yourself, and I think that going digital is going to be extraordinary.
Yeah.
I really do. I really think that people are grossly underestimating that almost all the things we've been doing are about to get more visual, more collateralized, more obvious, right? I don't think a lot of people realize why they bought a Rolex. I really don't. I don't think a lot of people realize, I don't think I overthink why at 45 years old, I look like I'm 13 right now, right? There's a lot going on in that. And I think that when it hits digital, it becomes more obvious. I think a lot of people's conversation about what's going on digital is actually just showing us what we are much more than anything else. And so I think as we go into the realm of consumerism is insane, right? When you think about how much people buy things to communicate, that going digital and being so in our faces, because so many of these things sit in our homes where 99% of our social graph never sees it, that going to a full 100 is fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I think you're hitting on a number of important pieces here. I mean, first, a lot of people think about this as kind of commerce, and I think a lot of it is actually really expression, right? Which is the core social dynamic. So the intersection between that expression and your identity and then the commerce around that, especially if we can get it to be interoperable, so it's a more fluid market, I think is just going to be a really
100%.
big deal. Much bigger than I think people sort of internalize today.
All right, you guys, so there's a lot of stuff to unpack here. And honestly, the full interview was really, really good. But the major thing that I got specifically from this section is branding is gonna be like 10x in the NFT and metaverse space. And the reason why I truly believe, branding is gonna be so important is because, self-expression, especially within the metaverse, is gonna be very, very important, okay? People are gonna wanna express themselves, and people express themselves a lot through clothes, right? What you wear, how you look, all these things are gonna matter with your avatar in the metaverse, okay? And I know it's kind of hard to like conceive that right now, because it's like, why would I, buy clothes and buy stuff in the metaverse? But I definitely think social status and social currency, right, with NFTs and the NFTs that you buy, that you can wear, or like jerseys and stuff like that, are gonna matter so much more in the metaverse than it even does right now, right? Because right now you buy a Rolex, or you buy, you buy some Louis Vuitton, some Supreme, all that. But I definitely think your social status is even gonna matter even more within the metaverse of what NFTs that you have. You're gonna be either cool or lame if you don't have the next Supreme NFT drop, right? Even more than it is right now, right? And so I'm starting to think, what are the negative effects to that, right? Because kids are already bullied now because they got on Shaqs instead of Jordans. I think the mental health of this is really gonna be concerning, if I'm really, really, honest with you guys, because specifically, especially how garyvee explained it in this video, right? Brand and what you wear is gonna matter even more, right? So maybe you're not as financially well off to where you can't buy Louis Vuitton, or you can't buy Dior or whatever. You can't buy the Dior NFT. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna be an outcast? Are you not gonna be cool? Are you not gonna be allowed to be in certain metaverse areas because you don't have a specific NFT? You're not wearing a specific NFT, right? All these things start to come to mind, being in the metaverse NFT space. So that's the first thing that I really thought of. But honestly, brand is gonna play such a huge role in consumer behavior and how we operate in the metaverse a lot more than what we realize right now. And that's one of the biggest takeaways that I got from that clip. Let me know, what was your biggest takeaway? Are you concerned about NFTs in the metaverse space? Let me know, what are your thoughts in the comments down below. Until next time, be easy.